oh my god, that's how this works. That's the way to make this work. And I started furiously writing in the middle of class, and I filled up 4 sheets, front and back, the entire thing, to scribble, scribble, scribble. When I got home, I used Magic Set Editor and mocked up all of the cards and made a playtest copy. And so on Friday, I brought it to my local game store and played it, and from the first playtest I said, oh my god, this is really cool. I think I have something here. And so from then it was off to the races, trying to playtest it enough to balance it properly, get all of the art, which I got from Dover Illustrations, it's all royalty free. Come up with the design for the cards, come up with the design for the boxes and the games and the logos and all that fun stuff. My friend Leon Knack illustrated these pictures to give me a hand with the game. And so he's an artist up in Cleveland, Ohio. And so he has a very unique taste, and so I thought it would add some sort of flair to my game. One of the things I think worked out really nicely is that a lot of the art feels very cohesive. It has that very medieval pastel feel, and I think that adds a nice little flavor of my game. It's a new kind of drafting game that's come out. So there's a city square where everyone's grabbing cards from, and the cards can give you influence to get bigger, better guys, victory points to win the game, mess with the board, or mess with your opponents. So the way the game works is the king of the city has just died, and so we're taking up the role of one of the prominent leaders of the city to try to vie for control and become the new king. And so let's pretend for a second that we're Madame Death. We're going to compare our money bag, which is this 3 here, to the shields of the guys in the bottom row. So let's say we got the hypnotist. We can get it because the 3 is equal or less than the money bags that we have. So now we have 3 from her plus 2 from him, so a total of 5. And so we have a tracker card that we can use, so we're at 5 now. It went around and then got back to you. And the deadly woman would slide down, we flip over again. And now we got 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 3 is 8. So we move up to 8. So you can see that our influence is growing over time. If you look at these guys up here, this guy costs 10, this guy costs 12, this guy over here costs 22. And so you can see that it's really important to keep your influence growing. At the end of the game, it's the crowns that matter. So if you take a look at the bottom, we have 0s here and the 2 here. And so at the end of the game, it's the crowns that are your victory points that let you win the game. So you're pulled in 2 directions, because on the one hand, you need influence to get bigger and better guys. On the other hand, you need the crowns in order to win the game. It's a random distribution of the tier 1s, a random distribution of the tier 2s, and a random distribution of the tier 3s every game. And so it's one of the things that makes the game different every time, is that you have all these different cards, and only some of them will come out each game. This guy lets you recruit from the back row on your next turn. So enlisted, you get it, and then you get the ability once when you get it, and that's it. And so it's kind of like a one-shot. Oh, this guy gives minuses to your opponents. Then the sacrifice guys, these are ones where you get it, and then at some later point you get rid of it to get the effect. So this guy can like sack to get rid of a guy, this guy can sack to switch a guy. And then there's static, and that's these cards like this, where they're just true things. They're just, he gets +1 for each other. The red guy is just active. In the City Origins is designed for 2 to 5 players. It plays very, very excellently with 2 players. It's one of the things I'm proudest of about the game. 3 to 4 players plays very nicely. With 5 players, it plays a little bit slower, so it's much better if you have people who have played before. The games generally last about 45 minutes to an hour. And then as people learn it, it drops down to be a little faster than that.
Break down the Kickstarter and the goal and...
Okay, so the goal of the Kickstarter is to get money to get expansions made for the game. So it's both, I'm using it both for exposure to get my name out there, get people interested, see what I have, what I'm all about. And then if it's funded, then I'm going to make expansions based on the amount of funding in the city, the harbor. And it's going to add a ship deck on the side that's going to rotate constantly because ships are always coming in and out of port. It's to add the kind of the feel of having a port side city. If we get enough money to make a second expansion, then there's I think it's going to be the Occult Assault, or that's a working title. We'll see if we can come up with an interesting name, but it's going to add spell effects to the game, which will have kind of big splashy things that can come out once in a while. It's also going to add cards with a limited time use, and so it'll create cards where you get them and then can use their ability a certain number of times. I am Duncan Davis, the founder and CEO of Sherwood Games. I do love crushing people's dreams.
You bastard.
So my hitman over here, he can destroy anyone who costs 15 or less. And so your giant, lovely Biggs's Liege, it's just dead.
You know what? That's cool. I understand. That's fine. We can kill it.
Kaboom.